Hey guys, today we're going to look at two of the most popular USB recording interfaces out there. This is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 and the M-Audio M-Track Duo. Both of these have very similar functionality, so you can record your guitars or mic and have two different inputs in both of these. So they're overall very versatile interfaces and fairly affordable, I would say. But yeah, they're still a little bit different in price. So the M-Audio M-Track Duo is only about $75 US, very, very affordable, while the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 is about $200 US, so definitely more expensive, but still within the entry level, I'd say, overall, if you compare it to, more expensive professional stuff. So yeah, I'm going to compare these two, and we're going to do the unboxing first. So let's take a look at the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I've actually already done a video on this one before. This is from a British company, Focusrite. They've been in the business. I think they were founded by Rupert Neve actually back in the 80s, I believe. But yeah, they make mostly USB recording interfaces and rack interfaces and stuff like that. They are well known for their mic preamps, which have a bit of technology from the Rupert Neve designs. And Rupert Neve is a very well respected maker of different mic preamps actually, and instrument mixers and panels and stuff like that, just for recording stations and stuff. Yeah, just very high-end stuff. So yeah, Focusrite does take a little bit of technology from that with their mic preamps. They have the rings here, which are kind of this patented thing by them, where basically it'll show yellow when it's near clipping levels, and then red when it's actually clipping, and then green when it's fine. So yeah, I think that's a pretty nice way, easy way to tell if your recording is not clipping or not. So yeah, this will just be green when it's fine, normal, yellow when it's near clipping, like a warning, and then red when it's actually clipping. You can adjust the gain for each channel here. So two different channels here. By default, it will record in stereo. So yeah, if you hook up an XLR input here or guitar input, it'll just record in one channel. You actually have to switch it to use either mono or just keep it stereo. If you want it in mono, you have to adjust that in your DAW. It does come with Ableton Live, I believe. So yeah, okay, come on, focus. There we go. So I gotta keep that focused. Okay, so each of these have their own separate buttons here. So instrument is the switch basically. By default, it's going to be accepting the XLR input from a mic or something. But you can also, when you press instrument, it'll switch to the 6.35 jack that's actually inside there. So hope you guys can see it better here. Sorry guys, my focusing on this camera has been very weird lately. I'm using a Sony ZV-1, but yeah, it's got decent, not like sunlight or anything like that. So cloudy day, but still it's daytime. It should be able to yeah, focus here without any issues. So I'm not sure what's going on, but anyways, sorry guys for the focusing and stuff. But yeah, instrument is to switch between the XLR input here and the 6.35 that's inside here. Air is to add a little bit of extension to the upper end. So if you have a particularly dark mic or something like that, the air will definitely smooth that out and give it a bit of top end sparkle back in. 48 volts is for powering your condenser mics, phantom power of course. Direct monitor is this is to switch your direct monitor, I guess, on and off. And for people who want to monitor when they're recording, right, there's a headphone output and the direct monitor levels. So this will do it in real time without any latency, which is nice, and it's pretty much essential actually if you have one of these recording interfaces. And this is the adjustment for the direct monitor out switcher on the back. So there's only two outs right here. Well, technically only one out. It's just one set of TRS outputs. So you connect these TRS outputs to, you can do it to a mixer, or you can do it to a set of studio monitors. Basically anything that will accept a TRS or a 6.35. So this will output in stereo. You just plug it in. You can also convert it into a single 6.35 or a single 3.5 millimeter connector end, right, unbalanced. This is a lock. Therefore, you're not sure what kind of lock that is, but you can definitely lock it to somewhere to a station. And then, sorry guys about the focusing. This is really embarrassing. Come on. There we go. Then you have a USB-C connector here to connect it to your computer. And by the way, this has to be powered by your computer. Like if you just connect it to a power adapter, it will not actually power this. It has to be connected to a USB bus on your computer in order to power it. So that's just an FYI. So I tried powering it using just a wall wart. It doesn't work. You have to use a computer to do it. That has the USB bus power. Yeah, you got your yeah, and so that's why. So for this volume dial, you have two of them. This is direct monitor. This is basically just for this output here, and then you have a smaller dial here that's just for the headphone out. So, yep, and it's got this characteristic, I would say, red color that the Focusrite Scarlett series always has. That's their design language. So yeah, all of them have this red series. Now they have a new 4th generation interface out, which is supposedly significantly improved over this generation, but this is the 3rd generation. So yeah, I didn't try the 4th generation yet. So yeah, designed in England, made in China. So yep, all right. Overall, it's a really nice interface. I've been using it for several years. The mic preamps are pretty good. Let's see what else is in the box. Not much else, just safety instructions. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I've been using this for a few years already. It's pretty solid interface, you know, really nice mic preamps. Come on, focus, please. Okay, there. Get your mic preamps and everything. Yeah, it's generally served me well. It's just that one of the reasons that I think this is a little bit annoying to use is just because, first of all, the outputs are just this set of TRS outputs, so not that versatile in terms of the outputs, and also the fact that it has to be powered with a USB bus. It cannot be powered by just a wall wart. So that makes it a little bit annoying if I'm taking this out and I want to use the mic preamp to do, you know, karaoke sessions or something like that. That's why I also want to use this for, but then I had to bring a separate laptop in order just to power this. I can't just bring like a USB charger to power it. I have to bring a laptop, which is kind of annoying. Anyways, yeah, this costs $200 MSRP. The new Focusrite 2i2 4th generation, supposedly even better, but I haven't tried it yet. But yeah, this is the 3rd generation Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Next up, we have the M-Audio M-Track Duo here. Significantly less expensive, only $75. M-Audio, by the way, is a brand that's owned by Avid Technologies, who is the same maker of Pro Tools, if you guys know Pro Tools. So yeah, Focusrite is, you know, they have a British heritage, right? They come from the Rupert Neve heritage, so it's very well respected. M-Audio, American, and now very much associated with Pro Tools, I think, since they're owned by the same company. Pro Tools is DigiDesign, which is also owned by Avid. And yeah, this M-Track Duo here, user guide. This should work very similarly to the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So yeah, I don't think I need to read too much of that. But here we go. I just want to check this out because this one I believe can be powered separately with a USB power supply. And it comes with USB-B cable, which is a bit of a drawback because the Focusrite 2i2 just uses a more modern USB-C connector at the back here. Yeah, that's a more modern connector. And this is definitely not a modern connector using USB-B. But hey, a lot of audio interfaces still use USB-B. Going back to a lot of headphone amps and DACs that I have, even the high-end ones that you buy today, they actually, like my Rotels, for example, my Rotel A12 integrated amp, that's a $900 amp, and that still uses USB for the DAC. So yeah, USB-B. It's still very common for audio interfaces and audio equipment to use that these days to connect to PC. Anyways, this is what the M-Audio M-Track Duo looks like. You have 4 dials right here. One is for first input, one is for the second input, this one for headphone monitoring, and this one for the direct monitor. So it's pretty simple, equivalent to this dial, and then this is the headphone, and then this is the direct monitor. It's pretty much equivalent controls and dials here. This will tell you, this little LED will tell you if it's clipping or if it's at a healthy level or not. Very similar to the LED rings in the Focusrite. So pretty much equivalent there. Then you have your inputs. These are Crystal XLR preamps or something like that. I don't think they're as good as the Focusrite preamps, but I guess they're okay, not bad. So you can switch from line to instrument here just by using this little switch. Again, equivalent to pressing the instrument button here. This doesn't have the air capabilities. That's a Focusrite specific thing. So this air little button right here, yeah, that's specific to the Focusrite Scarlett. Yeah, M-Track Duo does not have that. Phantom power on or off, again, equivalent to just pressing the 48 volt button here. And then headphone out, again, both of these have headphone outs. 6.3 millimeter jacks, by the way. If you have a 3.5, you got to use an adapter to convert these. But this is a professional, right, audio interface. Most of these, if you buy like a integrated amp or DAC or headphone amp or something, and these USB recording interfaces, you just got to know that a lot of them have the full size headphone jacks, the 6.35 1/4 inch jack, not the 3.5. But yeah, it's fine. Just buy a converter if you don't have one, or adapter, I mean. So yeah, you can output direct mono, direct stereo, or USB. That's actually pretty useful. It's something that the Focusrite does not have. You have to actually adjust it in the software if you want to convert that for the Focusrite. But on the M Audio, you have it directly on the box itself, from direct mono, direct stereo to USB. So that's actually pretty useful, I would say. That's something I wish that the Focusrite Scarlett had. Crystal preamps, I'm not sure again if they're any good. Probably not as good as the Scarlett preamps, because like I said, Scarlett preamps are derived from the very expensive high-end Rupert Neve design preamps back in the 80s. The air console technology, I believe, that he had. Okay, and the M Audio, okay, so it still only has the two main TRS outs, so exact same as the Focusrite. So no change there, exact same outputs. And then USB-B for the power here. For the connection, yeah, the Focusrite has a more modern USB-C connection. The M Audio has USB-B. A little nitpick, but it is a nitpick. All right, and then M Audio is made in China, of course. At this price range, it's going to be made in China. This is by InMusic. Yeah, InMusic is actually the owner, sorry. I don't think it's Avid anymore, actually. InMusic is actually a German company. But yeah, definitely not as well. I can tell just like comparing these two, the Focusrite is better built. Right, the M Audio is like, this is like, it's just plastic, right? Focusrite has got aluminum. It's aluminum. So definitely the Focusrite is better built. Focusrite probably has better preamps. Don't take it from me, but if you look online comparing the two, you'll definitely notice that Focusrite does have better design preamps. However, the important thing is actually the reason I got this thing is that it's first of all, it's cheaper. It's $75 compared to $200 for this, and also I think I can actually use a power supply to power this. I don't have to use a laptop like I have to do with the Focusrite. That's actually one of the main reasons why I got this. And yeah, some other features. I mean, this one does have the phantom power LED as well. That's but this one doesn't need it because this one will light up if it's powered. I think the only real differences here functionally is this one has the air. The air functionality is specific to the Focusrite Scarlett. M Audio, M-Track Duo doesn't have it, but it does have a switchable direct mono, direct stereo, and USB switch. So that's nice. That's something the Focusrite doesn't have. Otherwise, they're pretty functionally equivalent here, right? You just plug in two instruments or two microphones or whatever, and they're both good. This one is obviously better built. So anyways, that's probably part of the price difference. Another is just the prestige and everything of Focusrite being a British design, hailing from Rupert Neve Designs, of course going to be more expensive from that heritage, and M Audio designed more for the working musician, I guess. So I'm going to compare these two. I'm going to record using both of these, and then let me know if you guys hear a difference. Yeah, because the Focusrite is more than double the price, so we'll actually see if the difference in the preamps actually make a difference in the recording, like a difference that you guys can actually hear. We'll see if that comes out or not. So stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so shortly after I shot the video for the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, and the M Audio M-Track Duo. I found two other audio interfaces that I just wanted to throw into the comparison. They are around the same price, and I figured, why not just compare more of them, and that will give us, a better sense of which one is the best one to get. So yeah, I just wanted to throw these ones into the comparison as well. So this is the Behringer UMC202 HD. All of these are 2-input interfaces, 2-input, 2-output interfaces. That's why they're called 2x2. This one actually says audiophile 2x2. That's like a marketing thing, I bet. And this one has the Midas mic preamplifier. So Behringer is a company, German company actually, but they're well known for making affordable audio equipment. A lot of guitarists will probably know this name as well. I definitely know that I had a few Behringer. I actually started out with a Behringer guitar, to be honest. But yeah, I think a lot of guitarists probably know about Behringer because the very cheap, affordable pedals, which actually sound pretty good. And they have a lot of other equipment as well. I've used their microphones before. I've used their Xenix mixer for a while, a pretty long time actually. So I'm familiar with Behringer, and they do make, in general, pretty nice quality just effects and audio equipment for the price. So yeah, they're well known for being like well costed basically, and providing some pretty good value. So yeah, this interface costs just $100 US. It is only $25 more expensive than the M-Track Duo, which is also a very affordable interface. So I figured might as well throw this one into the comparison as well. It is around the same price. The Midas thing is because so Midas is a company that made, I think, mobile like recording interfaces or kind of consoles, I guess, for a lot of bands in the 70s, and their mic preamps, I guess, are fairly highly regarded. And since Behringer's parent company bought Midas and owns the Midas name, I guess they have a few cross-pollination features here. So they're using Midas preamplifiers, which I think, to be fair, the actual Midas mic preamps that you buy from Midas themselves now, which are owned by Behringer's parent company, are a little bit different. These ones are just like, I think they're a little bit different, but most people won't notice the difference, right? These are Behringer interfaces with Midas mic preamps that are similar but not the same as the actual Midas preamps that you get from their higher end line, if that makes sense. So anyways, I don't know if most people will be able to tell the difference or not, but yeah, here's what's in the box. It's pretty simple. So we have this is just the quick start guide right here. Take a look. Oh yeah, we have in different languages, Chinese and Japanese as well. So in English, so they sell a bunch of different interfaces. So this is the 202 HD. They also have a 204 HD, which is a 2-in 4-out. 202 is a 2-in 2-out. Makes sense. So there are a few different models here. And let's see. Yeah, so I think it should be fairly straightforward. All these audio interfaces do have similar features to each other, which is why I'm testing them. I'm trying to compare them to see, which one sounds the best, I guess, and which one has the most features for the money, is what I'm trying to get to. There's also PreSonus as well. PreSonus also makes some audio interfaces as well, but I don't want to throw too many into this video, but I think 4 is a good number to compare for now. So yeah, let's look at the interface itself. Okay, and I guess we can compare it to the Focusrite Scarlett 202 that I'm using, that you guys saw before. So this is the Behringer UMC202 HD. So as you guys can see, all the interfaces in this video are 2-input, 2-outputs. So you have the 2 mic preamps here. These ones are, like I said and mentioned, Midas designed preamps, which are not the same as the ones that are actually on the Midas consoles, but I guess they have some DNA from the Midas ones. But again, I'll have to see whether or not these Midas preamps make a difference. And then, of course, you have the volume knobs for gain for these 2 inputs right here. You can switch from line to instrument. So right now this will be line if you just plug in your XLR mic, and then if you press this, then it'll switch to the actual 6.35 or 1/4 inch jack for your instrument, likely guitar, I'm guessing. Pad, I'm actually not too sure what pad does. So this is something I'll have to consult the manual. The pad thing is interesting. Haven't seen pad. What is pad? Okay, so it says here what each of these buttons do. So pad, it says pad selector reduces input level for connected sources when engaged. So I'm actually not sure why that exists. If you want to reduce the input level, wouldn't you just turn down the gain? So I'm a bit confused why they have that. Like, wouldn't you just turn down the gain if you want to reduce the input level? Why would you use pad? I'm not actually sure. So I have to test that out. There's a direct monitor button right here if you don't want any latency when you're monitoring. And why would you want latency? Probably you would always have this on if you're just monitoring it directly. But I guess, you know, if you're normally just outputting it to a speaker monitors, then yeah, you wouldn't use that. This is maybe for headphones, right? So yeah, turn your headphones, headphone volume, and your main output volume right here. Your main headphone jack right here, which is a 1/4 inch jack or 6.35 millimeter. Here is this consumed design in Behringer, Germany. Of course, Behringer doesn't actually make anything in Germany because their products are affordable, so they are usually made in China. And then back here, you have the lock slot here. You have USB-B cable. So once again, we have a USB-B cable, and I guess that's just because the bigger audio equipment still uses USB-B. Maybe the Focusrite at least still uses USB-C, which is more modern. But a lot of the bigger sized audio equipment that I find still use the old school USB-B input, full size. And maybe it's more sturdy. Maybe that's why. I'm not sure why they don't all change to USB-C. Phantom power. If you're using condenser mic, right, you put 48 volt phantom power on. And then you have your two TRS outputs to go to your speaker monitors. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty similar to what you find on the Focusrite, just designed a little bit differently, but pretty much the same features, right? Except the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 uses USB-C, and the Behringer uses the USB-B. But I have to note that one issue of the Focusrite for using the USB-C is that it has to be powered by a computer. If you just use a power adapter, it will not work. Whereas I think with the Behringer, it will actually work with just a power, with a wall wart, I mean. And yeah, otherwise fairly similar. Just the Focusrite Scarlett has the air. Yeah, these air buttons as well, which will add a little bit of top end and clarity to the signal. And the Behringer has the pad setting, which again, I'm not sure how useful that is or what it does. So yeah, and then you have the, yeah, so Focusrite's preamps are pretty famous already, right? Goes back to the Rupert Neve heritage, and then Behringer has the Midas preamps, which go back to the Midas heritage. So should be pretty interesting to compare these. So I'm gonna test that one out. And oh yeah, forgot about the cables. Yeah, it comes with USB-A to full-size USB-B, as you would expect, right? You need cables to connect this to a computer. All right, so that's a Behringer UMC202 HD, the Euphoria. All right, the last one I want to throw into this comparison is the Universal Audio Volt 2. This retails for about the same price as the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. So these two are probably the most expensive out of these. The M Audio and the Behringer are definitely the cheaper ones. They both retail for, actually the M Audio for $75 and the Behringer for $100. Both the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 and the Universal Audio Volt 2 retail for $200 US. So yeah, a bit more expensive, but I would say still entry level. So yeah, $200 is, I guess it's still entry level, right? I mean, we're talking about audio interfaces, which can actually get quite a bit more expensive than this. So Universal Audio is a historic American company that dates back to the 1950s. They're probably most well known for making, well, actually they've been heard on countless classic recordings, but what I know them for is their compressors and limiters, especially the UA 1176. And they also have the LA2A, I believe. So they have quite a heritage, I would say, when it comes to audio recording. In fact, probably more than any other company in this video, including Focusrite. Focusrite dates back to the Rupert Neve designed consoles and stuff, but that was only in the 80s. Yeah, Universal Audio actually has roots dating back to 1950s. So yeah, quite a bit of heritage here. And yeah, the Volt 2 is their entry-level USB audio interface. So what do we get here? We get best-in-class audio quality, vintage mic preamp mode. Now that's interesting. I think this is the standout differentiating feature of the Volt 2 is the Universal Audio can use their their historic designs, actually, because they have a lot of history. They can use their historic their preamps with tube emulation circuitry, like dating back to I think the 60s or 70s, stuff that they designed from back then for a more vintage flavor. They used to do, you know, tube compressors and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then you get full suite of audio software, and you get an industrial design. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is a lot of included software. So Universal Audio does make a lot of emulation plugin software these days, which I don't use because I still use a tube amp. But they also make guitar pedals as well, which I've never used before either. But I heard they're quite good. So anyways, let's take a look. What's inside? Okay. Oh, come on. Alright, here we go. That's pretty snug. Okay, so Volt 2, let's take a look. Okay, that is a pretty nicely designed interface. Pretty solid looking. Okay, it comes with this, which I guess is the quick start guide and the cables maybe. Okay, so the set of cables you get is you get USB-A to, actually this is an adapter, is that right? Oh, that's interesting. USB-A to AC adapter. Okay, so you get like an AC adapter here to USB-A. That's interesting. I haven't really seen that much before. And USB-A to USB-C. Okay, and then you get this little piece here, which is just for licensing agreements and stuff. Okay, nothing special there. And there's no actual instruction manual because I guess they're assuming you'll scan the QR code to get started. So they save on paper by making you scan a QR code instead. Alright. But I've never seen this like USB-A to like barrel jack. That's interesting. Alright. So the interface itself. Let's take a look. Yes, it's very industrial looking. This is pretty solid. It's like aluminum or something. It's designed pretty solidly. Very nice. So you get two inputs here. These mic preamps, now they don't have any historic association with a certain brand like the Midas ones, but they don't need to because Universal Audio is a very historic company. So just based off their name, I guess you can assume that their mic preamps are going to be pretty good. I mean, their audio equipment has been used for decades. So yeah, you don't need to go with any kind of co-branding here. You have gain for both of these preamps. You can switch on vintage mode, which is their special mode that emulates that tube preamp, I guess. They have some tube preamp emulation technology here, so this is their special mode here. Maybe they add a little bit more warmth to the sound, I'm guessing, if it's a tube preamp. So this is something unique to the Universal Audio. Instrument, I guess, to switch between the line and the instrument. So if you have a guitar, of course, you switch to instrument mode. 48 volt phantom power for powering your condenser mic. Direct monitoring on and off. This is the volume knob for monitoring, and this is the headphone volume and your headphone jack. Again, a 1/4 6.35 millimeter input. And then let's see, don't have, yeah, of course, made in China at this price. And then if you look at the back, what's interesting here is you get MIDI in and out. So that's something that is not on the other interfaces here, but you get MIDI in and out. So if you have a MIDI controller or something like that, this might be something to consider. I don't, but that's definitely a feature this one has. Power on and off, you have this is a barrel jack power, which is, again, interesting because, so this barrel jack goes to USB-A, so what am I supposed to do with this USB-A? Is it powering by a computer, I guess? They want, now I'm going to try using a wall wart too, to see if this is able to be powered by a wall wart. So yeah, stay tuned for that when I try to use it. It would be nice if I can power it with a wall wart, not just with a computer, because it looks like this barrel jack to USB-A means it has to be powered by a computer, like a USB bus, but can it be powered by just a wall wart is what I'm wondering. That would actually make it more versatile for me, because I want to use this as a kind of a preamp for my karaoke setup as well. USB-C, now this one I think should go to the computer, right? Which is why I'm a little bit confused why this one is here. So if this one goes to the computer, then this one is also going to the computer? Like, maybe this is just to link up to the computer and it also powers by the computer as well, I'm not sure. Although I would assume USB-C is also powering it, but maybe you need another additional power, I don't know. Usually USB-C is enough to power, right? Like with the Focusrite. And then of course you have the monitor outputs here for your monitor speakers. But yeah, quite similar to the Focusrite. These two are probably the most comparable in terms of price and features. They're both $200 US, and they're both from companies with a bit of heritage. Focusrite being a company that dates back to the Rupert Neve designs, and then the Universal Audio, of course, dating back to the historic audio interfaces from the 1950s. So yeah, both of these audio interfaces are pretty nice and solidly designed. That's compared to something like the Behringer or the M Audio. Would you just like touch it, you can feel that it's definitely a cheaper product. Whereas with the Focusrite and the Universal Audio, definitely seems more premium just from feeling it and touching it. Yeah, both of these audio interfaces have presumably pretty nice preamps because they both have some heritage. And yeah, they both have gain knobs right here, monitor knobs right here, headphone volume knobs, even the headphone jack all in the same place. Both direct monitor right here, 48 volt power. I mean, a lot of the layout actually looks very similar. If you look at the back, yeah, aside from the MIDI in and out that the UA Volt has, Focusrite doesn't have that. Also this 5 volt DC power jack, which the Focusrite doesn't have. The Focusrite's pretty simple, pretty minimalistic, only sticks to USB-C here. But yeah, the Universal Audio has that. In addition, it has this power switch as well, so that's another thing that makes this a little bit more industrial looking compared to the Focusrite. And then these heavy duty left-right outputs also look a little bit more industrial compared to the to these two on the Focusrite. I would say the main feature here that's differentiating is the Focusrite has the air inputs right here. I mean the air functionality, where if you press the button, then air basically adds a little bit more high end and gives your signal a little bit more clarity. Whereas the Universal Audio has the vintage buttons, which I think adds a little bit of low-end warmth. So you kind of have separate colorings here on the opposite ends of the spectrum. If you want your signal to have more clarity and brightness, then you use the air. If you want your signal to have more lower-end kind of warmth, then, or you want your signal to sound darker, then I think that's what this vintage one does. So yeah, they both have their interesting colorings on the signal, but in opposite ways. The Universal Audio is also a little bit, yeah, has a little bit more girth here. You look here as well, but ultimately it's not going to matter too much because both of these are fairly portable for audio interfaces. It's just the Focusrite is, yes, a little bit smaller. Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to test these interfaces. Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 versus the M Audio M-Track Duo versus the Behringer UMC202 HD versus the Universal Audio Volt 2. And we'll see which one I like best, which one comes out on top. Actually, I'm also curious what exactly will the differences be. Because when you're thinking about USB recording interfaces, I don't think people necessarily think about a huge difference in the recording quality, but you know, who knows? I'm curious to see what the differences are. I'll also have to say that the way that they display clipping is all a little bit different. So for the Behringer, for each input here, you'll see the signal strength here and the clipping here. These are all LEDs, and on the M Audio M-Track Duo, you can also find this as well on top of the interface. For the Focusrite, it's these rings right here. That's something that that pretty much they patented. So you'll find that the color changes if you're clipping or not, and you'll just find your recording level there as well. For the UA Volt 2, can be a little hard to see, but it's actually here. It's like little LEDs right here above each of these. Actually, it's a little bit to the side of the gain knob right here, but this will show you whether you're clipping or not and your general signal strength. So the way they do it is all a little bit different. Alright, so now I have the M-Audio M-Track Duo set up, and I have a Shure MV7 microphone here, which can do both USB and XLR. I have it connected to XLR here. I turn up the volume. I have to turn up the input gain a lot on the M-Track Duo. I don't know why. It's just that it's just set to like 5 or 6, it's just so quiet. I had to like push up the input gain almost to 10, like 9 or 10 to be able to actually have a decent amount of volume. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. But yeah, I had to push up the input volume to almost 9 or 10, which is really weird. I shouldn't have to push it up that high to be able to hear anything. But anyways, I'm just going to play a song. I'm going to play it through the and record it through the M-Track Duo, and then I'm going to switch to the Focusrite 2i2. And then let me know if you guys can hear a big difference or not.
While Grace desperately hated his old place, dreamed to discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement, tongue aside on his face. Man, he's working away on displacement, what it would take to survive. 'Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And his wife told his kids he was crazy, and his friends said he failed if he tried. But with a will to work hard and a library card, he took a homemade fan blade, one-man submarine ride.
Alright, so I have the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 all set up now, and one thing I like already is the fact that I don't have to turn the gain all the way up like I have to do on the M-Track Duo in order to actually hear at a decent volume. Yeah, I just turned up to maybe 7 out of 10 on here. Now, there's no numbers on here like there is on the M-Track Duo, but I turned up to maybe, yeah, 7 out of 10 or around like 2 o'clock on this dial here. And I think that's fine enough.
While Grace desperately hated his old place, dreamed to discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement, tongue aside on his face. Man, he's working away on displacement, what it would take to survive. 'Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And his wife told his kids he was crazy, and his friends said he failed if he tried. But with a will to work hard and the library card, he took a homemade fan blade, one-man submarine ride. Walkers desperately hating his old place, dreamed to discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement, turned aside on his face. Man, he's working away on displacement, and what it would take to survive. 'Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And his wife told his kids he was crazy, and his friends said he'd fail if he tried. With a will to work hard and the library card, he took a homemade discover a new space, buried himself alive inside his basement, turn the side on his basement. He's working away on displacement. What it would take to survive. 'Cause when you're done with this world, you know the next is up to you. And his wife told his kids he was crazy, and his friends said he failed if he tried. But the will to work hard in a library card, he took a homemade fan blade, one-man submarine ride.
So let me know what you guys think about the differences between the two, and which one you guys prefer. If you guys can hear a difference, and if this Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 is actually worth more than double the price, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.